Hello and welcome to episode 10,
Numero 10.
of the Armchair Analysts podcast. Here we are yet again, 10 episodes in. It's Johnny, and with me always is...
Ace.
Ace Daddy.
Good afternoon.
So, we've made it 10 episodes. We haven't given up. We haven't lost sight of our goal. Even though things have been a little rocky.
Yes.
I mean, there's still plenty of crap going on. It's just not as exciting. No March Madness. We should have baseball. We don't have baseball. We don't have a lot of things right now, but we do have each other, and we do have this podcast.
Aww.
So,
and you can't hear it, but in the background, I got streamers going to celebrate our 10th one right now. Fireworks, the whole works. A candle vigil. It actually should be a vigil right now for how crappy it is.
It's good. Well, we've come a long way from episode 1, thank God. We've learned quite a bit. We've messed up quite a bit, and we carry on. But for those of you who have stuck with us, we appreciate it. If you're not already, please feel free to follow us on Twitter at AA Podcasts. And if you haven't already, please feel free to comment, follow, subscribe, whatever the heck you want to do. We're found at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn and Alexa apps. Without further ado, we can get to the first topic. We have a lot of dates in flux here. The MLB season agreement is the big one. And the generic, resuming of our lifestyle. When the Masters, we have, a few horse races that are being postponed, OTAs, stuff like that. NFL drafts, obviously a big one that's coming up too. And
yeah,
my boy Ace here has been diving hard into the research, trying to get shed some light on these. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, some numbers. Well, to start off first, the MLB and their Players Association, the respective Players Association, agreed on some stipulations in order to begin the season. It looks like the start date will probably be in June, likely June 1st. Opening day, which is going to be weird, but hey, you know what? Anytime's good for a cocktail, and when it's a lot warmer out, that's even better to watch some baseball.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how many opening days I've gone to at Miller Park where it could be like 50, it could be raining and 40, it could be sleeting and 30. Like,
yeah,
but the thing is exactly like that. Like, it's been without baseball. You haven't tailgated in so long.
Yep.
You brave the elements. You get some friends together. You have a good time, and more importantly, you have some good food.
Yeah, and so it looks like some of these stipulations, as you will, that in order to start they're just putting it. There's a lot of money at hand, basically, and so they met to agree on like what the luxury tax is going to be for the teams, how much they should get penalized, what the threshold should be. There's player salaries, when do they get paid, all that stuff, existing veteran contracts that has to be hashed out. I just read a little bit ago that Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner, mentioned that they're going to be paying the minor league players stipends. I think it's $600 a week up until the end of May. So everything seems like it's going to be June 1st, but again, they just wanted to put some concessions, some things in mind because there's a lot of money at stake, due to the fact that they're not starting on time. And especially, even worse, unfortunately, concession workers. I think a lot of them are volunteers, but I shouldn't say a lot. I think it's divided pretty evenly of who volunteers versus who's actually getting paid to vendor. So we're thinking June 1st. Along with that, it looks like horse racing, likely they're going to push all 3 phases of the Triple Crown back because Kentucky Derby isn't going to start until September now. My birthday month, that's kind of, I guess, one bright spot you could say.
No one cares.
So Kentucky Derby will start September 5th. I know we love putting a little bit of cachet down for that. Which means the Preakness and the Belmont likely are going to either follow or it might. What do you think? I'm guessing it seems like they'd either follow after if they're going to push that all out. I don't know. Golf, PGA, I know your favorite sport of all, is going to be, it's going to kick back up apparently May 21st. And so the next oh shoot, I don't know the next major tournament after that, but obviously the Masters has been canceled. There's some rumors that it's going to be in October, just because that's kind of toward the end of their season, anyways. We'll see though. Everything is in flux right now. It's
I was gonna say, isn't this all just like situational and conditional information? Like,
yep, exactly.
this is just like best likely scenarios, which honestly, it's big now because we're all just trying to be hopeful. It's
Mm-hmm.
we're what on week 2? It's like 2.5 weeks without sports, and
Mm-hmm.
it's dire straits here, man. It's pretty bad. I'm almost tempted to fire Madden up just so I can see some football, but
And I don't. Do you know? I don't happen to know when OTAs are, but
I think that'll be okay because that's
yeah.
still not until beginning of summer, middle of summer. So I think we've got time. And actually, Goodell released a statement that the NFL regular season is still on track to begin in September. So I
Yep.
mean, again, this is all conditional information depending on what happens. So
Yeah.
the U.S. has taken over the number one spot for most infected people. So who the heck knows? But
Yeah.
it's nice to see that most of the sports are at least doing due diligence and trying to make sure that all the things are in order in case they can start back up those designated times. So
Yep.
it's good to know. I still feel like, especially with Goodell, it's probably just a smoke screen just to kind of, oh, don't worry, we're okay. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
going to be fine, just because they have so much money riding on the beginning of their season. And they're already taking a pretty big hit with not having people actually physically present for the draft, because it was in Vegas. So I don't know if they're going to do some sort of live stream or if they're just going to televise it with no one there. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it's all going to be. They're going to do the studio host. It's going to be more of a studio presentation, which means all the players are going to be
right.
wherever, probably at their houses.
See, that actually, I think it's pretty funny. I mean, my brain will always go back to Brett Favre with his family in his jean shorts, laying in the bed with everybody
Yes.
when he gets drafted.
Absolutely.
But then I feel like a lot of the players actually, there's a good amount that actually prefer that. So I mean, won't be a huge change.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer not to have to listen to Kuiper that much, but
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it is what it is. So
Yeah.
it's nice because like the mock drafts are starting to come out, and I get it. It's just a crapshoot. Like, for me, it's really just to familiarize myself with players I haven't seen play in over 3 months.
Yep. Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I really, after what the Vikings did too this offseason, this is one of those years where I don't really care too much about the draft, but I'm gonna be peeking in this year a lot more, just based off some of their, I guess, trades and getting rid of guys.
yeah. What was your phrase? Load up. Albeit inappropriate, but it's definitely still applicable.
That's catchy. That's a T-shirt. That's T-shirt worthy right there.
Maybe for browsers.
Yeah, and it says NSFW on the front and then load up on the back.
Yeah. I mean, now we're probably have to flag this episode now because of that, but it was worth it.
Oh.
In other NFL news, they kind of expanded on the expansion of the playoffs. So again, there's going to be 7 teams per conference. We're going to have 3 wildcard teams. 3 in AFC, 3 in NFC. So only a first round bye for each conference, which is that's a game changer. Not only does it make the first seed more valuable, but it makes getting the second seed, like, I don't know. I think it devalues it quite a bit too, because not only do you not get a bye, but in all eventuality, because we've had the first and second seeds be so successful in reaching the Super Bowl the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, I don't know, like, you're still gonna have to travel, which would be the case regardless, but you don't get that bye, so it's just like, well, who cares?
Well,
if you're gonna have to play that last game on the road anyway, I mean.
Yep. Yeah, and it's the only benefit, I guess, is for the owner's sake, and that's the money. You're gonna make more money than the number 1 seed because you're hosting a home game.
Well, we chatted about this a little bit too. Just on how they're going to have to do this for the television schedule. So it's still just going to be wild card weekend. They're still going to crank out all 6 games.
Yep.
And it's going to be back-to-back days of triple headers. So kind of like Thanksgiving, we have like the early, the middle, and then the late game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the similar fashion. So, and a nice little change of pace here. They noted that there will be a specific broadcast on Nickelodeon geared towards a younger audience. So I don't know why, but I am more intrigued about that than anything.
Freshen up the resume.
Right? Let's go, man. Broadcast experience? Yeah.
Actually,
I mean,
that is a
I don't
great...
have the Jason Witten, good looks or the Tony Romo charisma, but I mean, we'll see.
hey, doesn't Witten prove you don't need good looks to be? Come on, you can't just be about good looks.
You can't just throw the pretty boy in the booth and expect him to mesh with everybody. But
that's a great opportunity for college students, even high school students. If I don't know the specifics, but if they're allowing, if that's what it's going to be like, where you kind of have interns or more or less students that are already in the broadcasting field in college, that'd be fun to listen to.
I guess I should clarify. I'm not interested in listening to the broadcast. I just want to see who's doing it.
Oh, yeah, true. That's true.
I guess I'm not going to listen to... And I don't know, maybe if Buck's covering the game, maybe I switch over to Nickelodeon, Maybe I take away some of his viewers and...
Oh, God.
If you give me the choice, I'm probably going to go with whoever's on Nickelodeon. Let's be fair.
It'd be Summer Sanders, or who is that? The slime
my girl.
Yeah,
Was she was it not the Dare girl? I can't remember what she was.
Wasn't she? Did the slime? She was on that slime show. God, why can't I remember?
How specific?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Double Dare? No.
Double
Dare was a guy. I know what you're talking about, though. I remember the name. I remember the lady. She's probably about 60 now, but mid 50s.
Keenan wasn't Keenan Thompson once a part of Nickelodeon? Heck, who knows who they're gonna go with?
Keenan's pretty busy with SNL, bro. So
yeah, that's true.
But it's like you said before. It's gonna be a lot more revenue for the NFL. I think it was a 9-figure boost annually just from adding this playoff spot. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, and like I said, I love the triple headers. It's kind of like a marathon. You don't want to start off too hot, but you got to make it through. So one thing that kind of stinks though, and I think we've already kind of touched on this, is that it's going to be, you're obviously adding another seed, so you're going to have like the NFC East, which is churning out like 2 plus 8-8 teams. So now one of them's going to make it, as opposed to, well, doesn't seem like the Eagles want the spot, but it doesn't really seem like the Cowboys want it either. So we have to give it to one of them. Well, now it kind of opens up a little more that, hopefully, a very qualified team, a 10-6 team that, just didn't make the tiebreaker for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Now they can get in. So it goes both ways. So I guess that's all right.
Well, and I've always been a proponent of best record. I mean, I get why they do the divisions, but honestly, come on, just give it best records. Nobody wants to see the Eagles in there. Plus, in a way, that hurts. Yeah. That hurts casino odds too, because it's like you could really find out if some of these games are rigged. If freaking not to go down a rabbit hole, but if what the Eagles, for instance, they were banged up all year. Nobody expected them to beat the Seahawks. I think it was they played first round last year. Ugh.
Yeah, they had a couple surprise wins, but
so I agree.
At the same time, though, like I do like the other side of the coin, though, because we've had multiple years where, like 10-6 teams are just getting shafted just because of the way it's set up. But you're never going to be able to break divisions, because that there's a big reason why the attendance for those kind of, like the Sunday night showdowns, Packers, Bears, or I obviously they're in a long-standing rivalry, but like they're not even the most fun ones to watch. Like the AFC North teams going at it, like even before, like just the Browns and the Steelers and the Ravens. No one cares about the Bengals, but just watching those 3 other teams, because they pure hate each other.
Yep. Yeah.
Or actually, even the Bengals, when they were they actually made it to the playoffs, like they were always fighting. The fans were always just so into it.
Yeah.
And the coach, like it was always just really intense to watch, and you're not going to be able to replace that. That's the essence of the sport. Like if you get rid of divisions, you lose that, and it's just, I don't know. You kind of lose part of the game, and they've already changed enough, especially with like the rule changes in the last decade. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it works out. But
My
everyone gets more money. You get an extra game to watch for the first weekend.
Okay, here's my surprise team. Kind of premature, but whatever. The Cardinals. Arizona, man. Who knows what they're going to do with that defense, but think about it. I feel like the 49ers are going to take a step back. A little, but we'll see. I guess that's crap for another day to talk about.
Well, and the Rams have that new logo, which will curse them even more so than their Super Bowl hangover. The Seahawks, I don't know how they're able to put together such successful seasons without addressing the offensive line. I don't. Yes. It baffles me. Like, is it all Wilson? We're getting kind of on a tangent, but like it will always blow my mind because they haven't invested in that. I mean, they've tried, but players just aren't working out. Like, they're just putting in random pieces, kind of hoping that it works. Like, I don't know, man.
That's gotta be. I think it's more the style of their offense where they're looking for guys that can run block first. It seems like, which to me is dumb when you know it's an NFL. You know it's a passing league, but I feel like it's their style of play that kind of dictates who they're going after too. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Wilson's not necessarily getting any younger, so I mean, how much longer his body can take this kind of abuse, and it's fun watching him play. Like, honestly, he's like a younger Aaron Rodgers because the dude he's literally just working magic. And I understand he's got some weapons on offense, but it's not like he has the supporting cast he had early in his career where he had the stout defense, carrying him and getting the ball back repeatedly. He doesn't have Marshawn Lynch to hand off to. He's lost a couple big weapons at receiver, and DK Metcalf, he's promising, but having his weapons that he had back in the day, I know that they're not big names, but he made like Javon Curse, Doug Baldwin, he made those players. Like, now it's like Lockett. I mean, he's talented, sure, but you're missing those players. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a nice little tangent.
Being from there or living there now, you can appreciate. I can even appreciate Wilson. So yeah.
What? You living there? You live in Seattle now?
No, sorry. I should have been more specific. Having played at Wisconsin.
Yeah, and honestly, that was it was a Kawhi Leonard thing. We knew we were just renting him. We're just gonna ride it as far as it went. But it was nice to have an actual legitimate talent at quarterback. No offense to, offense to the quarterbacks we've had in the past. Our system doesn't really benefit quarterbacks much.
Yeah.
But it makes it a lot easier when you do have to throw, because you've been running the ball so successfully, because the defense plays as good as it does. You're going to get more opportunities. When you do have to drop a dime, I'm going to tell you that it's probably going to be single coverage because they've been watching the run for so long.
Yes.
Well, with Wilson, they really couldn't afford to do that, so it really opened things up. But
that was, and plus the last thing I'll say is when I think of college games, the ones I remember, it's him versus Kirk Cousins, Michigan State versus Wisconsin. I think in 2011 or 2012 for the championship. That game was exciting.
I'm too old now.
He threw Cousins threw the Hail Mary at the end. I don't know.
That I remember.
Yeah. So there's bits and pieces, but that's the one that comes to mind first and foremost. Not even at Gophers.
I can't really fault you there.
Yeah.
All right. That is enough NFL for the time being. I know you wanted to bring up, because we bring it up pretty much at least a little bit each episode, but you want to talk about the Fair Pay to Play Act, right?
Yeah. This is interesting because it was signed into California law on September 30th of 2019, signed by the governor. And the idea is that basically collegiate athletes are going to be able to get compensated profit off of their name, image, and likeness. The one downside, or I shouldn't say, there's obviously multiple downsides, but this isn't going to become a provision until 2023, meaning that this tells me there's clearly a lot of details that need to get hashed out before anything is obviously concrete.
Does that surprise you though?
No, the date, not really, because this is a very sticky subject for a lot of different, NCAA is clearly against this. They
want their money under the table, damn it. They don't want to have to. Yeah, no, I get it, but this is also the same organization that took almost 15 years from people begging for
Mm-hmm.
playoffs in NCAA football, and now we have 4 teams.
Yep.
And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll add some down the road, sure. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
See you in 5 years, I guess.
And
We'll...
so a big proponent of this bill was LeBron James, and go figure this. So here's my theory. This all happened in California, right? He's the one that really, whether it was him or his posse, whatever, they got into the governor's ear, or they got into people's ears because his son is going to be in high school soon. So it's all predicating.
I actually was gonna comment, like, how old is his kid?
It's
Because
all
probably
this
comes
is
in.
all predicating on his freaking son being able to.
Oh my
It,
gosh.
like, okay, at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of people act on their own, their own virtues. A lot of times, I get that, but come on, man, that seems pretty clear and obvious because he's been behind this from day one, or he's been really in the governor's ear to get something
Well,
like this
shit,
pushed.
now he's probably pretty bored now, so he's pushing every legislation he can.
Exactly, and it's like, gee, I come on, the average person with that kind of, nobody has that much clout, so it's just, uh,
Well, I mean, you see how much he presses refs into doing what he wants, so I can only imagine what he does to Capitol Hill, so we'll see.
yeah. So again, it wouldn't be until 2023, but this definitely, I mean, it opens the floodgates for a lot of different business opportunities for these college athletes to explore.
Yeah, run a trial run the experiment, see how it goes. And
Yep.
in 50 years, maybe it'll be in effect for the rest of the country.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a stepping stone, and with the NCAA, you have to take what you can get. So,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're
well,
one of the most stringent corporations out there, I think. So yeah.
yeah, but they're a nonprofit. Come on, bro.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Corporations, no,
Sorry.
nonprofit. Yeah. Even though they are very sticky wickets, they did approve an extra year of eligibility for all the spring athletes that literally just won't have a season. So, I mean,
Yep.
that is at least some good news.
Yeah. And
amid all of the bad news in the sporting world, so that's nice.
one of the things too is I think they're allowed to obviously seek legal representation, but I believe they can consult with and even hire uh, like a manager or an agent, so to speak.
Well, I would offer my talents, but we're already doing the Nickelodeon broadcast, so we'll be busy.
Wait, they want me to join along? Nice.
Well, someone's gonna have to hold my water bottles.
Oh, dang it! I thought you were going to say we were a package, so we're not a package. Kind of.
We can do it. It'll be fine. I kind of want to look into it now. I'm not even gonna lie.
For sure. Why not?
For sure. All right, switching gears a bit. So you brought this to my attention, and I've been thinking about it, and it makes more and more sense. I'm just wondering if they're going to hold on to it. So, Mr. Ace here sent me a link right after we finished our last podcast about how Nevada approved esports league betting. Which, don't be confused, they have been supporting esports betting, but it was on just specific events, tournaments, championships, stuff of that nature. But this is for like the entire season of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So it's clear that they're hurting. They're missing all of the juice coming from regular betting, March Madness, baseball, basketball especially, that's going to be ramping up, all that good stuff. So this is kind of a way just to keep things going, but I don't know. Like it's not like esports betting is new.
Yep.
When I used to cast Dota 2, I mean, you could bet however much you want. If you want to bet a paycheck, you could bet a paycheck on a single game, not even a big game. So it's just kind of.
Was that offshore, or how did that take place?
Ugh,
Or is
I
it
don't
just
ask questions?
It was just
I don't ask questions.
all right.
But they're just kind of not modernizing it, but they're making it more accessible. We'll say accessible, acceptable. They're making it a thing because I mean, what else are you gonna bet on?
Yeah.
Like,
One.
if we could do prop bets on COVID-19, like I guess like maybe that could be a thing, but that's I don't know.
Yeah, and for Nevada, so Nevada was the first state. It makes sense because the stat I read, they're 25% of their like gross revenue or whatever comes from that industry, that entertainment gaming industry. So they're absolutely hurting, and it's nice. It obviously there's probably going to be a lot more. You might have a better idea of more league games that go on in video games than I would.
Well, it's been going on for a while, and it's really it's been ramping up for a while, and it's kind of at a level where I think everyone's kind of taken notice of it. Even if you don't participate in it, even if you're not completely aware of it, you know it exists.
Well, and they got to be, they're sponsored, right? Like a lot of these professional leagues have to be sponsored, and they get paid pretty
Not only
they
have multiple sponsors, but all of the teams separately have sponsors too. So there's a lot more corporate interest in this than you might think. So I can see why they approved it. So this is probably going to be because again, like we can't watch sports, but a lot of people are inside. A lot of people are watching Twitch. A lot of people are playing games.
Yeah,
I think they're going to add more leagues as time goes on because
well,
I mean CS:GO is a moneymaker in its own right, but there's a lot of other things that they can kind of capitalize on as the pro scene develops, and they're also adjusting too because you can't do any LAN tournaments. You know, you can't have the players physically, flying and playing in a certain country for tournaments. So everything's just going to have to be
streamed more or less.
Do the regular, So
however that works out. How many other?
It's interesting.
God, now I kind of want to. I'm curious how many professional league gamer, like for games there are. How many professional leagues there are for esports? God, man, I wish I had these questions beforehand so I could actually do some research and be more prepared, right?
I mean, if you just go to Twitch right now, you have like some of the top games. You have League of Legends, Counter, CS:GO, just like we talked about. Hearthstone, Call of Duty. Everyone's playing Call of Duty Warzone. They don't have anything professional for that. Dota 2 is up there.
Okay.
I mean, as far as games that have like legit leagues, I mean, you're probably looking just at Dota League. I mean, I don't know how big the Hearthstone following is, but I mean, a lot of people are watching those. And then, I mean, good old Rocket League. No, I don't know what theirs is like, but
that's one game.
There's
yes, I love that.
There's
game.
money to be made here for sure. So it wouldn't be surprising to see them kind of continue down that path, especially since, I mean, you gave us dates, but those are all tentative. We have no idea what's going to happen. So
oh, and one kind of, not so much a segue, but related, since NASCAR's obviously been shut down just like every other sport, they've been having virtual races too. So Denny Hamlin just beat like Dale Earnhardt, because Dale Earnhardt Jr., now that he even though he's retired, it's not like he can't hop on a video game console and play. But they actually had a full on race just, through a NASCAR gaming system, which was pretty sweet to envision. So I guess point being,
I would bet on that.
Heck yeah. And you're gonna have a lot more athletes probably involved with something like that.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like I said, a lot more people are playing and streaming. Than Giannis and his brother have been streaming quite a bit. Like dude, there's some stuff in the works here, man. We could see some really impressive shit because minimum we have at least another month plus of no sports. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got to see a lot more sports stars reaching out via Twitch and other digital means, including video games. So
this for sure is not ending. Same with that fair pay to play. There's a lot of this is going to completely grow over the years.
Oh yeah. All right, now it is finally time for the best part of the show. The only reason why we do this. Ace's Quick Six. What's this week, dude?
Oh gosh, it's super topical. It's the best shows out there right now that you could either binge watch, do whatever the heck you like, since we're all quarantined for God knows how long. So yeah, it's basically top 3 shows that I've watched that I like, and then the least favorite of the three that I just stay away from. And obviously comment as you will. Ozark. That might surpass Breaking Bad as one of my favorites, and Game of Thrones. It's definitely up in that category.
Really?
Jason Bateman is a genius. He's a director.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bate fan. Don't get me wrong, but really, you putting him up with those? Are you putting him up on Mount Rushmore already?
Yeah, with the likes of Vince Gilligan apparently, and I think the storytelling is so. Granted, the last few episodes of this season have kind of been like, okay, what are they? Why is this character still here? What are they going to do with this? But I definitely I've enjoyed this storyline throughout, and it's no joke. I could watch it at any time of day and feel like I'm wide-eyed, bushy-tail, paying attention to it. You like? Thanks to my mom. That's a reference straight from my mom right there.
I There you go.
A
There
next
you go,
one. Have you
Chris.
seen Hunters yet?
No, I really want to though. It looks so good.
Yes, the band of seven
It looks so good.
Israelites that I think all seven of them, I believe, were in the Holocaust. But this is, um, so this dates, I think, to the 1970s. Then, so obviously post World War II, all that stuff coming to an end, and they bring in this young kid kind of as like a disciple or a heir to kind of the main leader of that group, and just a genius show also. So highly suggest that one to watch if you haven't already.
I love Inglorious Bastards, so I feel like that's not quite as dramatic, but it's got kind of the same feel. I'm hoping.
Yes, yeah, and
Okay,
obviously it's a
that's
show, so
cool.
it's a
Yeah,
there's a lot more character building too, which is very interesting.
yeah, for sure.
And the last one, Better Call Saul, the
Yes. Oh,
precursor to Breaking Bad.
so good, dude. I so the when the last season or when this current season just came out, I binged everything again, and man, a lot of people compare it directly to Breaking Bad, but you really can't.
Yeah.
It's a different show. It's a different pace
Mm-hmm.
with different characters.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched El Camino too, in between that. So
Oh yeah,
I've gotten a good fill. I've gotten a good fill,
that would go
and
on the ladder, the poor, the one not to
mhm.
watch. I think.
I love Bob Odenkirk, and it's like Kim Wexler's. I don't know why. It's she's kind of mannish, but I dig it, dude. I dig it. Like,
You like?
I'm a big Kimmy Wexler fan, and you know that something's eventually going to happen to her because she's not in Breaking Bad. So there's some season 5 though is
Yep.
it's taken weird turns. So I
You,
don't know. I definitely that's been on my list. I would rewatch it again in a heartbeat too.
you've described pretty clearly what you want in a lady, I guess.
Stop it! Stop it!
All right. So bottom three, the ones I don't suggest to watch. I hate Tiger King is the first one. That one was number one on Netflix, and I'm not gonna lie, the first episode was kind of intriguing to figure out, okay, where's this gonna go, but overall the whole show is somewhat hypocritical. You got felons owning, buying out this Joe Exotic's zoo at some point. The biggest hypocrite I think of them all is this lady Carol Baskin, who basically the only reason she started out, she ended up buying animals within the states. She bought exotic animals to start out her own sanctuary, and now she's fighting for animal rights. Her sanctuary looked worse than Joe Exotic's uh, zoo, he calls it, GW Zoo in Oklahoma. So it's like, what? How can you be saying all this stuff and representing one side, but then at the same time, how you got your start was exactly what all these other zookeepers, and the biggest thing is that they love the animals, at the end of the day. But Tiger King, I thought the whole story was just odd and kind of stupid overall. It's I don't if I had a reason, if it was would you ever own a tiger? Would you own a lion if it was legal, I guess?
Maybe like a leopard.
Oh,
I wouldn't
that's
go full lion or tiger. I'd get like a leopard or a jaguar probably. An ocelot. Something that's nice and crepuscular.
a good word. Um, and then the last two, more are chick flicks. So don't hate on me, ladies, for those that are listening. But you oh no, not by you has the guy from Gossip Girl. I can't remember his name. Kind of a skinnier guy, but you is basically a rom com. This guy. Have you seen that? Did Jessica get you wrapped up into that at all?
Nope.
Okay. Well, he. I don't know how much I should say because it's kind of going to spoil stuff. I'll just skip to the next one. Love is Blind is another one that I don't recommend to watch. It's
Why are you watching chick flicks by yourself, dude?
Got some roommates. Some of them or one of them unfortunately had it on, so I'm just like, okay, I'll sit down and watch, see what the heck it's like. And these, well, I'm guessing you've heard of it, but these individuals agree to go on this show where they're
so bad,
so
bad.
They're in separate rooms trying to get to know each other, male, female, trying to get to know each other and base a love or perhaps a marriage off of blind love.
So stupid.
Somebody at work mentioned, a girl mentioned at one of our work huddles that they're doing a bachelor version, but it's music based. So like all the people involved have some sort of music background or artist background to try to pair up with. So it's not so it's bachelor, like bachelor AB, whoever, I think it's ABC that broadcasts it. So it's that brand behind it, but it's couple, or it's like a group of them instead of just one guy picking between ladies and vice versa.
Wow.
I know.
I literally have no response to that.
We're dying for entertainment apparently right now.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like everybody. I don't know how many statuses and tweets I've seen about people looking for suggestions. So,
oh my gosh,
that hopefully will guide anyone who's on the fence about something. I will definitely second Ozarks. What was the second one you said?
Hunters.
Yeah, all three of those are ones I've either already watched or are already on my list. So,
yep.
I'm also, just because you got to list off some, I'm going through all of the Marvel movies because we have Disney Plus and Netflix. I'm going through every single one of the Marvel movies, starting like chronologically. So, Captain America: World War I all the way through Infinity War.
Nice.
Or Endgame. So yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but I have them all on Disney Plus and Netflix. So why not, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
it when there's nothing else. I mean, we've been watching Jack Ryan and a couple other things too. I know Jess is working through Homeland, so trust me, there's no shortage of streaming things. We just have to pray that our internet keeps up.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the big thing, because everyone's working from home. I work in IT, so I already know the outages are imminent, so it's terrifying. But we will carry on. I like your input. That's a very awesome Aces Quick Six, very topical. I'm sure a lot of people will be able to use that to steer clear or find something cool to watch.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for us, Big Daddy?
A couple nominations also. How to Get Away with Murder and Westworld. Those two also I would add as to check out.
Fair.
But that's all. Yeah.
Fair. All right. It's been a great show. Thanks to you, everybody, for listening. Again, if you are not already following us on Twitter, please feel free to do so at AA Podcasts. And subscribe, comment, rate, however you want to do it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Alexa app. However you listen, we don't care as long as you do. I'm Johnny, that's Ace, and we are out.
Later.